Okay, without further ado, Jen Anderson here to tell us about how to expand our business, service our customers in a new way, and maybe meet new customers by offering virtual cooking classes. Take it away, Jen.
Absolutely. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Awesome. Well, so nice to see all of you. Some of you I know, some are new faces, so welcome to our big, huge Pampered Chef family. Definitely, Karen and I have known each other a long time. I've been doing this almost 19 years, and I am so thankful for this Pampered Chef family to get me through a lot of those curveballs Karen mentioned. As I heard her just saying, your team is doing fantastic with this pandemic. It seems like a strange thing for us to say our businesses are fantastic in a pandemic, but we really do have something amazing to offer our customers. I was not a primarily virtual consultant before COVID-19, but I am now a 100% virtual consultant. And virtual workshops were something I actually had started before the pandemic, which was good because I kind of had been doing a little bit of online parties. And I really found them to be a way that we can offer some service to customers, and not necessarily reaching out for the immediate can you buy, can you book, can you join my team, but saying, hey, how could I help you? And so one of the ones I did that was really successful was a Rock Crock workshop. I basically called it a Love Your Rock Crock workshop. So what I did was I went into my contacts and I did, or my reports, and I ran a report of all my customers who had ever ordered a Rock Crock. So I looked in the catalog at all the different item numbers. I'm sure Karen can show you how to do that if you haven't before, but basically I ran a report and I had, I don't know, I don't remember the number, but I think I had over 100 customers who had purchased a Rock Crock sometime in the last 7 years. It's really easy for me to age the Rock Crocks because they came out when my twins were born. So I always know they are as old as my twins. So I was basically going back to some customers that I may not have talked to in the last 7 years because twins has been the biggest challenge in my business. But, I basically started inviting them. So what I was basically offering was an online workshop via Facebook, a Facebook group. And I invited by an email first to all of those customers. When my, report came up, I could just grab all their email addresses and, send a report, send an email. Belinda, do you have a question?
No, I'm actually reading a message. Karen, Lynn, and Michelle are in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry. Yep.
Thank you.
All right. They're in. Yay.
Sorry, Jennifer.
So I had that, Facebook group set up, and I ended up, I don't know how many of you are already building teams, but I ended up offering this Love Your Rock Crock workshop for my team. So it wasn't just my Rock Crock customers, but I opened it up to my team members if they wanted to invite their Rock Crock customers. It was a great way for team members to learn sort of the process of a virtual party if they weren't familiar, maybe with kind of the style of posting that I do anyway. And so, like we tell our hosts, I told my team and I did myself a multi-layer inviting approach. So I sent an email to all my customers who had ever bought a Rock Crock. And then I started to take them a few, maybe 10 or 20 at a time and see if I was Facebook friends with them. And if I was, then I sent them a message on Messenger. And I actually, hang on one sec, I brought it, I went back and looked at my wording so I could give you guys an idea of what I did. Because I basically wanted to, just tease them with, hey, would you be interested in this, right? I wanted to kind of get them interested. So I just said, hey, it was February. So happy February. Hope all is great. I'm checking in with Rock Crock customers as I'm planning a Learn to Love Your Rock Crock workshop this month. Would you be interested in attending? At that point, I said one in my home or online. Obviously, you wouldn't be offering it in person right now. And then, depending on their answer, obviously I followed up with them. Anyone I didn't hear from, I did say, another message, just following up on my Rock Crock workshop. It's going to be on Facebook this week. I'll be going live with a recipe demo and a sneak peek of the new products. Would you like to join us? Here's a link to the group. So the people who had responded, yes, they were interested, I, of course, invited them into my Facebook group. But those who hadn't, I then did a follow-up the week before and gave them the link to the Facebook group in case they just wanted to click the group and join. So, so that was kind of how we got people into the group. So like I said, multi-layer email, Facebook message, follow up on Facebook message. And then what we did in the group is we shared all the benefits of the Rock Crock. So we shared recipes that you can make in the microwave, ones on the stovetop, ones that went microwave to broiler, s'mores cake, all those different things. So we would share a bunch of recipes direct from the website. Now, if you were going to run it for yourself and your own customers, then obviously you would put recipes in that were a direct link to your own personal website. Because I was doing this with my team, I just did generic pamperedchef.com recipes so that I wasn't, making anybody's customers go to my website. And I gave my team some ideas of ways to follow up. Like partway through the week, I reached out to all of my customers in the group and said, hey, what did you think of the recipes yesterday? Have you made any of those yet? Did you have any questions? So did a lot more following up through Messenger. So the group was kind of like a virtual cooking class, right? They were getting information about the product. They were getting recipes. I find when I do virtual groups, whether it's a workshop style or even my party groups, I let them all vote on what I'm going to make. And I get a lot of interaction with that. So I just did one post that was a recipe poll. And I said, hey, I'm going to go live in my kitchen. I'm going to show you the Rock Crock. I'm going to make a recipe in it. And I, at that point, was giving them a sneak peek of the new season's products. And I said, vote. And I gave them 4 or 5 choices of things I could make in the Rock Crock. People love that. So if you aren't already doing that in your virtual parties, and you can do that, in terms of your weekly cooking, do that. I always look at what ingredients do I currently have on hand, since it's not as easy to just run to the store these days. But I'll give them a few options, and my family thinks it's funny because in the morning I'll be like, well, currently chicken teriyaki and rice is winning for dinner, but I'll let you know at 3 o'clock what we're actually having.
Color for chicken tenders.
Yeah, right.
Color chicken tenders. Pretty good, right?
They're really good.
Yeah. Oh, I think they're talking to somebody else. So anyway, recipe polls are fun. And I just basically use it as an opportunity to reach out to that particular group of customers. So you could do the same type of workshop, whether it was a stoneware workshop or a quick cooker, like a pressure cooking workshop. You could do, and you can first reach out to your customers who own the product. And then if you have a business page or a Facebook group with your customers, or even on your regular Facebook page, you can say, have you ever wanted to know more about our Rock Crock? I'm running a Love Your Rock Crock workshop. And then capture people who maybe don't own that yet, or who may have purchased it before before they knew you. And of course, in the group, I definitely put incentives for people to reach out to their friends and family. Who do you know who needs to know more about this one pot that goes everywhere? So you can, use your customers to meet new customers by giving them an incentive to invite their friends. And, then the key with everything, the fortunes and the follow-up, right? So I definitely made a, list of who was in the group so that I could more easily reach out to them. Again, since my group was my customers and my team's customers, I had to kind of keep track of who were mine in the group. And then I just sent personal messages again in Messenger near the end. Hey, did you like the recipe we made last night? Do you have other questions on your Rock Crock? Would you want to add to your Rock Crock collection? Would you want to repeat this fun with a virtual party of your own? And then definitely, if you're not all doing some kind of way to capture their info, I did a Google Prize form at the end. So they filled out a little Google form. Those are so easy to make and use. And then they were able to tell me, different answers. They were able to answer different questions that would help me. Questions like, would you be interested in having your own online party? Do you need more tips and tricks for your Rock Crock? Is there another product you need help with? Et cetera, et cetera. So that was kind of the gist of how I ran it. So who has some questions or comments?
I do. Jennifer, did you end up with any bookings from this?
I did, yeah. I ended up with 3 or 4 bookings. Some were in person, some were live, because this was before all of this, and some were online, I should say. And I ended up with just really great feedback. People, I also, one of the questions was, would you be interested in attending a virtual workshop on another, you know, Pampered Chef product line? And lots of people were like, absolutely yes. And I think that was like the last week of February. I was planning to do a pressure cooking one the last week of March and haven't gotten to it yet. So I'll get to that one. Things have gone a little wonderfully crazy in my business, so haven't had a chance to do that yet.
Great. Anybody else have any questions?
I have a question. How long does the workshop run for?
So I did about 3 days on Facebook. So that's about how long I run my virtual parties. So I did a bunch of inviting before that. And then I did 3 days, with the third day being the recipe demo, where I was live, Facebook Live, you know, from my kitchen, showing the recipe, answering questions. And then the next day was just a little bit of wrap up and prize collecting.
So Jennifer, I'm just going to pick your brain for a second.
Sure.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. We've got a lot of new members here. And so you mentioned going into the reports to get the Rock Crock list. Now, they don't have lists. So can you give a couple pointers to them as far as being able to get something like this going, not really having a lot of contacts yet?
Yeah, I mean, I think my advice would be, especially if you order the Ultimate Kit and have the quick cooker, would be to offer a pressure cooking workshop, because then you can capture people who maybe have an Instant Pot or, you know, other pressure cookers. They don't just have to be Pampered Chef customers. And I think that that's in particular a product that you can offer a ton of service, teaching them how to not be afraid of it, how to use it, teaching them pot and pot cooking. So if that is a tool you have in your kitchen, that would probably be the workshop I would recommend offering first, because you can capture so many people who's afraid of pressure cooking, who's new to pressure cooking, who loves their pressure cooker and wants new recipes. So that would be my thought. If you don't have that product and you have stoneware, that's another one that crosses a lot of people, right? You know, stoneware's been around the whole 40 years of Pampered Chef, and obviously there's other competitors out there, but that would be another one where you could say, learn to love your stoneware, and that could capture a lot of people who may not already, you know, be your customers. You could teach them a lot about stoneware as well. Excuse me.
Good. Thank you, Jennifer.
Sure.
Josh, has a question?
Yeah, I'm just curious about a different spin on the concept, Jennifer. Have you done a workshop where you build in, you know, a lower priced item, like, for example, a make and take salad jar workshop, and there's a cost to attend, but they get the products out of it?
So in an in-person setting, I have done that. I haven't done that in a virtual setting, but I know definitely there are consultants who have done that. I think that, you know, what the advice that I received, which was really helpful for me, and I think I would share with all of you, is to just pick some narrow theme. So it could be make and take lunches. It could be kids cooking, and, you know, and just something, because at first I was thinking like, oh my God, there's so many Pampered Chef products, like learn to love your Pampered Chef products. That's just too broad, right? So if you want to do make and take lunches, you could certainly do it as a pay to attend. That would be more, you know, of a class where obviously you're asking for payment, you have guaranteed income for yourself. I was seeing these workshops more as a service opportunity to make my customers really loyal to me, really excited to, you know, they could attend and not buy anything. But my hope was that they attended, learned about a product they have, and then maybe got interested in products they don't have, and then either ordered. So of course I had an order link as part of my workshop. But more importantly, I was looking for bookings at the time. So I wasn't really geared towards specific sales for what I was doing.
Okay, thanks.
Lynn?
I was thinking maybe, and some people might have got their kits that don't have any of those items in, even though I might have them. So, or you've got such a small customer list. I was thinking that just offering up a recipe and having everybody make a recipe with whatever tools they have, that's a service that we can provide them with without actually having Pampered Chef products. And then when they see what we've made with our products, you know, it's going to kind of prompt them to possibly, you know, add those products to their kitchen.
Definitely. I mean, right now, the what's for dinner question is driving everybody mad, right? I mean, I have 3 kids. They want dinner every night and snack like 5 times a day. So, I mean, you could absolutely run a easy dinner ideas type workshop, or healthy kid snacks, or my team this week is running a fundraiser for Feeding America, and we're doing it again as a group workshop, and it's all about the new Backyard Fun party theme. I can't think of the word. So we're doing backyard fun and grilling recipes. So there isn't a specific product. Obviously, we're going to cover lots of products through those great images and marketing imagery, and I'll go live in my kitchen as well. But I think that is a way, Lynn, absolutely, to capture people who maybe don't have a product yet, but they want to learn, okay, what can I make for my summer barbecues, even if I'm just barbecuing with my own family. So.
Yeah, I was going to say, a way to kind of mesh what Josh was saying along with what Jennifer was saying. Josh was like, I'd like to get some sales out of this. Jennifer being of service, thinking about those things like cooking with kids, and people could buy some, the products ahead. Maybe you're going to do a pizza night with kids, and they can buy the kids baking set, and people can order it ahead. They order by a certain date, and then everybody comes on live, cooking together. Yep. That might be something that's really fun and of service, because how many people are like, oh my gosh, now what am I going to do with my kids because camp is canceled for the summer? Oh no. Or the backyard fun, or healthy prepping, and food prep and stuff like that. So it doesn't even have to be a power tool, but if it's something that has broad appeal, like a lot of people have kids, a lot of people are doing the backyard cooking and backyard celebrating, and that's a way to then get friends to invite friends, because they're coming to this class or a place where they're going to learn stuff. It's going to expand beyond the family and friends.
Right.
Beyond just making a recipe. Yeah.
And I think that's where having some theme, any of these themes are great, but giving them something like, so they can say to their friends, oh my gosh, do you need new ideas to cook with your kids? Or do you need new ideas for cooking outside? Or, do you just need some new dinner ideas? Here's a place you can come. It's a couple days, or it's one day, however long you want to do it, but it's a place to invite people into. And then you offer them the service and the recipes. Definitely, people love the recipes.
And you were talking about, Jennifer, about people voting, about, what recipe you're going to make. It might even be interesting to, if you've got a couple different themes and you're not sure what to run with, offer 2 or 3 themes and have people vote a poll. Like, I'm going to be doing a cooking class once a month. Here are some themes I'm going to be offering. What do you want to see first?
Yeah.
And then they vote on it. Now, these people are really excited about going. You're going to have a certain number of people.
Right.
And then it can be something that they come back to and incentivize, for every friend they bring, because you can see when somebody adds a friend to a group, you can see who invited them. So you can do some kind of special drawing or something like that to get more people.
Right. Yeah, great ideas.
Who else has questions for Jennifer? Even if it's off topic, like, how do you manage a business like this with twins? Like, anybody get any of those kind of questions?
Well,
Jennifer,
all of you who are juggling kids at home, remote learning, running an online business, I give you a round of applause, because we are all definitely juggling a lot right now. And I will say, I hear Karen sharing, that you guys are having a phenomenal month as an organization. And I will tell you guys, I'm on track to hit an all-time record after 19 years this month. So, it is absolutely, the business is out there. And, when you have a theme that you're offering to people, what I'm finding in my parties is everyone is super engaged, right? Because there's nothing else to do. But I'm doing a lot of engagement posts, like a lot of this or that post, or ABCD, pick something, or, who is sick of what's for dinner? Like, which place can you not wait to go to when you can go sit down at a restaurant again? I'll be like, so who really needs a haircut or hair color? I'm going to find a fun new hat to wear every week as the weeks go by here. I was wearing my sombreros left and right for my Mexican fiestas, and I was like, okay, I can cover the gray hair. So, I mean, any kind of engagement, people just enjoy that engagement. So the polls, the recipe polls, the what do you want to learn about polls, that's the stuff that gets people chatting and then gets them wanting to do it again next week or the week after with their friends because they're like, this was fun. So definitely I found the engagement posts to be really key, and they literally can be anything. They don't, I mean, you can make them food or Pampered Chef related, but they can just be anything because people just love an excuse to engage with each other.
I had posted something like your craziest kitchen mishap. The stories that came out were hilarious.
Yeah,
It's another engagement post if you want. Yeah.
definitely.
My best engagement post has been the ugly spatula game. So people, it's a random post and just say, hey, show me what you have. And then I just found one that's an oven mitt.
Oh,
And like
I
people
bet
have been
there's
showing
gross
me their
ones.
burnt oven mitts and stains. It's awesome. And everybody just laughs at each other. So it works out well.
Yeah. Yep.
So
I
that
like to
way-
start a story and then they have to each finish it with a certain ending. Like I would start it like my dog jumped on my table and knocked my large bar pan of chicken all over and then the next person has to come in and write down something and the story is just unbelievable by the time it's done. So
That's
hey
awesome.
Jennifer, I did want to ask you, how many guests have you gotten into these? I mean, have you got a lot of guests?
Yeah, that Rock Crock workshop had about 50 online, you know, in the group.
Nice.
I am finding with my virtual parties, you know, 30, 40, 50 or more makes the party $1,000 party almost every time. I really have been floored at how much people are buying. Last week, one of my parties, the poll was to use the quick cooker. And I sold 2 quick cooker meal sets full price, you know, $300+ orders. And one of them already had an Instant Pot, but liked ours better. So, you know, I mean, I don't sit there and discount, you know, put down Instant Pot. I never had a pressure cooker before ours, but I point out the things I've seen. You know, I'll say, look at how you press the button here and the steam comes out over here and you don't have to like get your tongs with the 240-degree steam like on your fingers, you know, and that's all I say. I don't say like, so don't buy an Instant Pot. I just say, like, I point out how safe ours are. And so I've had multiple people either purchase or book because they want ours. And I definitely, like, when I'm doing a recipe that involves the quick cooker, even if I'm not doing like a quick cooker workshop, when I go live and I'm going to show them the recipe, I take 5 minutes or so to explain pressure cooking. 3 phases of pressure cooking, building up pressure, the cooking at the temperature, and then the release time, you know, and I just give them a few general tips about pressure cooking to make them feel more comfortable. I talk about how ours can't open and explode and hit the ceiling and, you know, and stuff like that. So whenever, again, you can offer that, there's all kinds of product tips or even food tips you can offer that just give people that service. And they're like, wow, I really learned something from this. And then they want to do it again. And you know, this is something I learned 19 years ago. I offer people the 2-choice thing, like, you know, so when I'm having a conversation with someone about, you know, they've been having a good time at the party, and I say, you know, I know you've been having a lot of fun. Would you like to repeat this fun? You know, I'm offering backyard and grilling themes or wine, cheese, and chocolate, you know, and I just give them like either or maybe 3 choices for themes, but it's not like wide open. I basically am saying, do you want to have a party that's this or maybe that? And then once they say what theme, I'll say, okay, well, I'm currently booking the week of this or that. And I just, you know, it just narrows it down. So when you're doing a recipe poll or a cooking class, you know, what should I offer poll, I would do, you know, 3 or 4 choices at most for those things, because otherwise they don't all show up on the poll. They get dropped down, and you know, people, it's too many choices.
Right. Hey, I'm just curious. Show of hands, how many of you have had people that have booked within 2 weeks?
Within what?
Within 2 weeks.
How many of you have had people book within 2 weeks of talking with them? Keep your hands up if it's been within a week. Yeah, within 5 days, 4 days.
Probably didn't
3
offer.
days, 2 days. Yeah, see guys, the virtual world, you don't have to check their work schedule. They don't have to find a babysitter. They don't have to clean their house. They don't have to check with their best friend's schedule. I mean, I'll say to people, okay, well, you know, I can do next Monday or Tuesday. And they're like, what? I can nothing, no plans.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, don't think like people are going to need a long time. They need a couple of days to get the word out through Facebook. So, yeah.
Any other questions for me on virtual workshops or anything else?
I
Jennifer,
have a question.
Oh.
You
I was
go.
just asking, what platform did you say you were using for these?
So I'm using Facebook and mostly doing Facebook Live in a private group setting.
So it's
I
not
have-
interactive like Zoom. It's like you're talking and they can message or whatever.
I have done Zoom as well. So I'm offering both to my hosts right now because I do find that some are super excited to interact with their friends and others are like, no, just do Facebook Live. People can see it when they want. So I offer both within my party group.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That was a good question, Michelle.
Kaylee, you had a question?
Yeah. Are you just doing the prepping at the workshop, or are you doing the whole meal? Like, what does that look like?
My either Facebook Live recipe night or my Zoom recipe night is preparing a whole recipe. Depending on the recipe, I will have prepped some stuff ahead so that, you know, my video time is, I would say maybe it's 30 minutes, even with sort of answering people's questions. On Zoom, I'll hang out longer. I actually tell them that they can pop in like 15 minutes early because on Zoom I offer a on-time prize drawing if they are on by whatever time our recipe is going to start. So I start with a prize drawing and we do our Zoom recipe. And then when I'm done on Zoom, I say, all right, you guys, you know what, I'm just going to mute myself and clean up my kitchen. But if you know, so you guys can just chit chat with each other. It's so fun to hear what they're all saying. And then I'm like, and if you have a question, just say, hey, Jen, and I'll unmute myself and answer. So that has been working for me in the Zoom platform, but it's still within a Facebook private group is what I'm using for my parties.
So are all the recipes about a half an hour or under?
Yep.
Okay.
Good question.
Yes.
All right. Well, guys, if you have ideas, I would love it if we can, you know, share and post them, different workshop ideas or anything like that. Because I think this is one of those things where, you know, we can go anywhere with this. I mean, there's so many out there. And especially right now, while people are still kind of limited as to what they can do for meal times or where they can go for meal times, I think that this can really be of great service and can be an amazing tool to build your base of influence, build your customers, things like that. So yes, Lynn, do you have a question? You're muted.
Nope, I just want to make a comment. Keep in mind that we have a captive audience right now, and as next week here in our local space, restaurants are opening back up. So take advantage of people while they're still out there making meals, because I just think that it's going to be one of those situations where we're going to lose a lot of attention when that starts happening. So I'm just like looking up. I know I'm not gonna be able to keep up at this pace for, you know, ever, but I just book whatever you can. If somebody can't do something a week out, offer them tomorrow. You know, that's basically what it is, because they're already fresh. I was always taught when we're doing our checkout, don't offer somebody something a week out, because if you can do it tomorrow, do it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just sharing that because I'm concerned how things are going to be if I don't start putting someone on the calendar now. And so I just wanted to share that while we have everybody sitting here talking about stuff. I think Jennifer's ideas are fabulous. So I'm like, I've written down some things. So I'm going to make some changes, but keep in mind, restaurants are going to start opening up, and you know, people are going to start going elsewhere instead of.
And when people are saying to me, oh, you know, maybe I'll have my party like late June, I think, well, I mean, you can have it whenever you want, but if I were you, I wouldn't wait. People are going to start getting busy again. You want to get them when they have absolutely nothing to do. And then they go, oh, yeah, that makes sense. So when you explain the why behind it, people are all on board. They're like, oh, yeah, I don't want that again. So, yeah.
Yeah, and even with restaurants opening, they're not going to take as many people, so people are going to be disappointed because they can't get in anyway. So they're not.
So-
it's not like everybody's suddenly out of restaurants again.
No, but give people a reason to be in their homes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Give them a reason. I love the idea of the Rock Croc workshop. I mean, holy mackerel, that's just like mine just went, it's like, I love that idea. So I'm
Definitely.
just thinking, go with that because wow, it could be really big. It could, I sold a lot of Rock Crocs, so that's what I'm,
Mhm. Yeah.
give them
But
a
if
reason.
you don't have a slew of people with Rock Rocks, it's okay. Cooking with kids,
Right.
healthy prep, what's for dinner,
Right.
outdoor
Right,
entertaining,
service.
all of that. Yeah, there's plenty
It's
of.
all about the service that we can provide them at this point.
Right.
And the sales will come with that.
And once people are out perhaps eating at restaurants more, there'll always be that theme that we can offer healthy and fresh recipes to help take off the COVID-19, right? So we can teach them some summer salads. We can because I know we are baking way too much at my house. So there's always a theme, and I think that the themes are the thing that get people excited to participate, whether it's a live party or an online party. So just always be kind of thinking about the times. In August you're going to offer healthy school lunch ideas, but you don't need to offer that in June. So that's where the backyard fun theme that's just coming out is perfect. Grilling recipes, summer salads, all those things that can be tied into what's great right now.
Awesome. Well, Jennifer, thank you so much. Big yay for Jennifer.
Yay.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right. And guys, we'll get a thread going on the team page. So if you have questions or comments, we can share them there. Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah. All right. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Great to see everyone's
Bye.
faces.